Okay, so awesome. Okay, so I know that we've had some questions of people have been saying that they've had people who are interested in the bookings or in booking an in-home party, and that it's been kind of hard sometimes to close out and really get a date, set. So one of the things that I tend to do when I usually if I'm, so sometimes I get bookings when I'm talking with people because I'm constantly sharing the opportunity, right? But if you are haven't seen that you've been going out and meeting a lot of people, but you have, what I would do is refer back to your customers who have been purchasing from you and see, and so you should have local people around, right? Because you should be sharing the opportunity around, as well as people who will be able to do it online with you. But the key is to make things really simple for people. You want them to be able to not really think. So I think one of the things that most people are afraid of in terms of committing to a party is that they're going to have to do a lot of work, or they think that they will not be a good hostess because they're not sure on what to do, and so that can be a little bit scary for people to commit. So if you take some of that work out for them, then just at least in getting those parties booked first, then it makes it a little bit simple, a little easier to, I guess, commit to that. And so what I tend to do is I will pick a few dates that I have available, and I will reach out to my customer, and then I will say, hey, I know you've been loving Color Street, and I have some parties that are, I have some open dates, and I wanted to see if you would like to have a party so that you can earn some free strips. I think that you'd be a wonderful hostess, and, blah, blah, blah. However your relationship is with them, a little bit more about them than I do. But with that, what I'm doing is I'm giving them 2 dates that they can choose from. And then I'm also going to be reassuring them that I'm going to be helping them in terms of kind of planning that party out with them. So I'm going to be their coach, right? As soon as you step into that mode, you are going to be coaching them to be a successful hostess. So I found that's been pretty good by just, instead of saying, when's your calendar? When are you available? Just like, hey, these are my 2 dates. I'm filling up quick, especially now with the holiday season going in. Which one would be a good date for you? So that seems to be really good. Let me see about muting everybody, and then I will do. Hold on one second. Probably should do this in the beginning. Here we are. Okay. Okay, great. So then with that, what I also have been doing is, instead of, I think it kind of has come along where I've grown a little bit more confident in terms of the kind of parties that I'm having, right? So instead of when I first started off, I think I kind of came at it in terms of asking someone to host a party with me, where it was almost like they were doing me a favor. So I felt like they were doing, that it was kind of putting them in a, in an imposition, when really I'm offering my service, and I'm excited for them to have me for the night as well as their friends, and basically have them, give them an excuse to have their friends come together. So with that, I've become a little more simple in terms of doing a little bit more like theme parties. So it's not your traditional call your friends over and sell to them kind of thing. It's more of, like I say, I offer Manny in Minutes parties. I've done, newest ones, I want to do a nachos and nails party. So I give my hostess some different themes, Manny's and mimosas. You guys can get creative with your names, but that really helps, like, give your hostess something that she's going to be kind of clinging to as a theme, and so that she's excited to share that with the people that she wants to invite, and really kind of sets that whole presence and what she is, what she's calling them to come together for, right? So if you know that you're doing a Manny's and Minutes party, then she's like, hey girls, I'm inviting my friends over so that we can do manicures together. And instead of like, hey, would you come to my party so that you can purchase nails? It's you're again doing that theme party that just really cuts that thinking work for her. So and then I'm also, when talking about with those dates, with that, a lot of people go, well, how many people do you want? You want to be specific with your numbers, and it's okay to ask for those numbers. So if somebody says, well, I can only have a couple of friends, that might not be your hostess. You might want to do a one-on-one thing with her already. She's already a customer. But you want to definitely, my whole goal for each party is to at least BQ, so that means 300 in sales. I want my parties to be at least 300 in sales, if not more. So, and what is that going to take, right? So, and that's usually going to be at least, if 8 people do a buy 3 get 1 free, that is going to be your BQ for the month. Now imagine doing 4 of those parties. That really gets you into the next commission range and things like that. So make sure that you are specific in terms of how. So don't be afraid if someone goes, well, how many people do you want? Say, I would like to have at least 8 people there. You can have it, and this can be your neighbors. This can be have excuse me friends of friends get invited. So sorry, still getting over this cold. So again, giving them ideas so they don't feel like, oh, they have to tap into their outer circles. So my latest hostess, what she did was, when she sent out an invite to her people, she said, make sure to bring a friend, to come in and join us for this night. Go ahead and invite someone. And sure enough, about 3 different people brought somebody who was kind of new to their circle. And it was a really great way for them to bring those people in. So just a few ideas in terms of when you're talking to people of of how to kind of make it so that it's going to be, they're able to do this, right? So it's just not so daunting in being a hostess. So, okay. So really with that, what it goes down to now is you have your hostess, you have your date. We're going back to that hostess coaching. So what I tend to do is I make up my little hostess packet that I have. And that is, that is going to be like I always do a nail set in my kits. I got these off of Amazon, these little clear packets. I love them because you can take it and then have it and they just look pretty cute. So I always set in a catalog, like I have a nail file. I have the card that I'm going to be writing in to send to her and certain instructions on what I'm wanting her to do. Like I said, nail set, catalog, and maybe some other kind of little goodie. I think I got these for like 50 cents. So I keep it affordable, so I'm not spending too much money on her. Some people do a $5 Starbucks gift card if they want. But really the most important thing that's out of it that I add to it is going to be my hostess wish list, and then also the Color Street hostess program that I have here, which I believe this graphic is in our group as well. So I send these 2 things along inside my package. Now the hostess wish list is really great. So in my card, and I handwrite a note, I tell her that I want her to go through the catalog and fill out her nail wish list. And this is so crucial because what it does is it gets her going on what nails she wants to earn. And that is a pretty important thing because now she has a goal of what she wants to shoot for. So my last hostess filled out the entire thing and she was hilarious. She sent me a picture and said, I want all of these, because it's just like, now that they wrote it down on paper, they want them all. She's like, can you please make sure that these are at my party? And I was like, all right. So, and then the wish list is really cool because it does break down in terms of how many nails are going to have to be sold at their party for them to earn everything that they want. So, and that's why I put like how much it takes to earn and everything, so she gets an idea of what she gets at her party. And this is a great thing for me to follow up with her and check in and give her some more information on how this is going to happen. So, love the hostess wish list. And that's why I say sometimes you can do a $5 gift card if you feel like this hostess is going to be, a big one. She has tons of friends. have her sit down with a cup of coffee, or even put a little Starbucks instant coffee thing in there. Sit down with a cup of coffee and go over your wish list and really shoot for it. And sometimes, like what I did the last one, I threw in the new breast cancer awareness strips, a printout of that, as well as the fall catalog that had just launched that day. So I just make sure that she feels special, and now we have set a goal for her, right? So, okay, so now, so with that host coaching, I set the party at least 1 week to 2 weeks beforehand. If that's not the case, just you go with it, okay? If you have a person who wants to have a party in 3 days and that works for both of you, go with it. You know, don't ever say, oh gosh, I can't do that because it needs to be 1 or 2, weeks out. You can go with it and you can modify what I'm teaching here. So wish list with the goodies, and then with that, we'll talk about the setup. So I like to keep, before when I first started the parties, I was bringing it like too much. I was making it way too complicated. I had too many signs of different things, making it really cute, almost like an event, kind of setup where I'm trying to get all the information out there. But I really don't need that because people are going to have me and my hostess to really explain things. So I now bring just 1 table or maybe 2 tables if my hostess needs it. This is, again, the things that I'm discussing with them in terms of seating and where I can have a little display of the things that I want. But now I'm just very simple. I have one form that says has like the buy 3 get 1 free, or what I'm offering. If you don't offer buy 3 get 1 free, that's okay. I personally do. And I even have kind of like you can host a party too kind of thing on there. And then what I do is I bring my strips, and I'll get more into that. So once we have that, I check in with her again, make sure everything's okay. And then we come to the day of the party, right? And I've also have been making sure that in her hostess pack, one other crucial thing that I forgot. In the hostess pack, I usually send about 10 samples that have my cards, have a little file, and then also a toozy in there for her to start really talking with people and getting those samples on them, everything like that. And my hostess, I've never had a hostess who's never tried Color Street, so she's able to help them put on their toozy, which is awesome. So I encourage her to go and give these samples out to the people that she wants. And it's been really cool because most of the time, the people who show up for those parties have a toozy on them already, and it's really awesome. So I also instruct her before the party when she's telling them for them to come with naked nails. So all those little smaller details. They're coming in naked nails because they're coming to a manicure party. Okay. So here's where you can kind of go what I've been doing lately, and you can kind of split off and not do that. But how I've been setting up my parties is that my hostess already knows. I tell my hostess that I'm going to offer her guest $10 for their first set. So what that means is if they come and they're just buying 1 set, that they are going to pay $10 for it. So they can have a $10 for 1 set, or they can get the buy 3 get 1 free deal. So what she's doing is she's going to already be telling them that if they're coming, they're going to be buying 1 set already. And I haven't had any problems with this. So I know then that if 10 people come and they at least come, they all know that they're going to be spending at least $10 for that party. It's like coming to a wine night and you're knowing that you're going to already be spending that $35, $25 to paint, right? And do something. They know that their girlfriend is setting up this party and they have to at least bring $10 for that 1 set. And I do this just kind of like because there was an expectation. They already know that they're going to be paying for this and they're going to be getting, again, my service to help them put on the nails. So I've had really good luck with this because people do that, but they never only buy 1. So they know that they don't have to feel pressured and buy more, but they already are committed to that 1 set already because they showed up, right? But most of the time, I have other sets that I bring with me that they're able to pick out. Now, with doing this, you're still able to do this with a smaller amount of inventory. So if you don't want to carry a ton of inventory, that's all right. But I would say to carry, you start off your kit with 10 with 10 nail packs, right? And I would say to reinvest some of that money back in there so that you will do have some sets for people to choose from. Because people, even if they just got that one set, they can always order from your website right then and there. And they can do the buy three, get one free from you, which is pretty awesome. And I tend to do that. So, okay, so I got my hostess set up. Her guests know what to expect. They come with naked nails, naked feet, because sometimes people are want to do their pedicures at the same time with their nails, right? They're excited about coming in there, and also that they will do $10. Again, that is something that they don't have, that you don't have to share. That's just something that I do. You can still prep your hostess without her saying that she's going to be doing a special for the first set for $10. So I said, set up simply. And what I do that I love, I got these at the dollar store. They're like a set of four for $1. So I use these little plastic bowls. I set up where everybody is everyone seated with one paper towel, one bowl. I do a nail file, and then I also do a cuticle stick. I love the cuticle sticks. I feel like people who are brand new to that. Can you close the door, Patrick? Sorry. People who are brand new like the cuticle sticks, and they make them feel good. Plus, at the same time, we're going to be about to do a nail soak, and I'm going to be doing a push. I'm pushing back the cuticles. So this is going to be the pamper side of it, right? So my setup is paper towel, bowl. They have a little cute nail file, and then their stick. And then my other thing that I do, I have it right here, is I've been laying out one of these customer order forms. This is something that you got in your starter kit as well. So I used to try to get everybody's information at the end of the party or as they came in, but people tend to come in at different times, and it's kind of hard, and it's kind of even harder when you're checking everyone out and everyone wants to leave. And so then I found that I wasn't getting everybody's information, which then allowed me, made it so that I couldn't follow up with these brand new customers, right? So now I lay that customer order form right there. I bring enough pens for everybody. So again, it's simple. It's easy on my hostess. And then as people come in, I give them, and this is going to be part of my things, I do an end of the night raffle. I give them a raffle ticket for showing up, and I tell them to pick a place that they're going to be seated next to, obviously after introducing myself and who I am and everything like that. And I tell them that to please fill out the information just on the top, so which is their name, their address, their phone number, and their email. Just that information, so that it makes it a lot easier for at the end of the night when we're going to check out, or so that I can reach out to you and say thank you for attending. And you guys will get another raffle ticket for just doing that. Everybody fills out. This is for my last party. Everybody filled this out. This made everybody super aware of these forms too with it. And so even as they were finding what strips that they wanted, they were filling it out themselves, which was great. So I loved it, even with it, because I had the catalogs out for them to look through. They would write it down, so even if I didn't have it, we could later discuss about ordering it. So this has been a total game changer, having this out right from the beginning, asking my guests to fill that out so that make it so much easier at the end of the night for me. And they all do it. They all do it because it gives them something to do at the party, so they're not all kind of wondering what to do next, right? So that's been really cool. So they come in, we sit down, they have the bowls out there. They're kind of wondering what's all going on. They get some food. If it's a nachos and meal party, they're getting their food. They're sitting down, they're talking, yada, 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 right? My setup is what nails I have out, very simple, and I have laid it all out for them to just sit and have everything ready for them there. So once we get started, right, I kind of command the attention of them. I tell them a little bit of, I said, thank you for coming. I'm so excited. My hostess, Susan, really loves this product, and she thought that you guys would really enjoy it too. Who here has tried Color Street on, right? And that gets it kind of going and everything, and um, gets so kind of break the ice right then and there. So I can see hands up, see who's tried it. I get to see who is wearing the toozie that they got to try out because their hostess gave it to them. And, and then I can kind of do a little chit chat from then and there. So I do a little basic starting and I'll go, okay, basics, Color Street's 100% nail polish, comes off with nail polish remover, and really easy to put on. And so then that's when I tell them that we are going to be doing a nail soak first so that we can treat ourselves tonight. And I bring a little vitamin E oil, and I personally love the Stress Away Young Living, and I'll bring lavender as well. It's a treat yourself night, right? It's Manny's in minutes, but she brought her girlfriends together, so we're having a little cute get together. So I fill this with warm water. I put a little drop of the vitamin E oil, and then I do a drop, and I ask them first of the essential oil, and they all love it. They love it, especially the Stress Away has been a big hit. And I just got that from Young Living. You said you can do a simple lavender. And then I had them all soak their nails for at least 10 minutes. And we do the nail soaking so that they can use that cuticle pusher to push back their nails, and they have their little file to round things off and get their nails ready to go. Now, when I have everybody soaking their nails, I have all of their tension right now, right? They'll chitter chatter amongst themselves because they're all there and women love to do that. But while I have their hands in here, I now can get their full attention. So what I like to do is I tell them that I always create one door prize, which again I've created in here. It's usually something fun. I don't put a nail set in it. I just kind of do like a few things. Like I've got these for like a buck. It's like a hand mask cream and a few other goodies. Everybody likes to win stuff. So I tell them, hey, you guys have already earned a few raffle tickets for our door prize. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the company and what you're about to experience. And then I want you guys to ask questions. For every question that's asked, you're going to get another ticket. I love it. I want you guys to really know about Color Street so you can fully enjoy it, right? So there is where I bring up how a little bit of the history of the company, how it kind of came to be, Mr. Park. People love hearing that story because first off, they don't think that it was a man who created it, but they love that it's kind of how he persevered. People just love those kind of rags to riches almost stories. So I share how long I've been with the company and how I've been incredibly blessed to be a part of something that's been so wonderful, and just a little bit of kind of like my 90-second why. I don't make it too like salesy. I'm sharing with all these girlfriends here, right? And then I explain more about the product, that my solids are 3 coats, my others, the glitters and stuff are 4 coats of nail polish. The reason why it sticks on and lasts so long, 95% dry, all that, how it comes off again. And during this point is when I do a little toozie sample, and I show them how it all goes on, and they are like, awesome, they're ready to go. So nail soaks, they push back their cuticles. People ask questions. I'm giving them their tickets, right? These are the tickets I got. I ordered a roll of these off Amazon. So they keep one coupon, and then I put one into a little jar thing that I have. Now, with this point, I tell them to all go wash their hands with nice soap, that everything's done. I clear the bowls away, we get those out of the way, and they are ready for their manicures. So when they came in and already expecting that they were going to be buying at least one nail set, right, they already have picked out one of their nail sets that they're going to be putting on. And if you are not going to offer that $10 sets, you can say that, hey, we're going to be putting these on, and you can actually tell them that tell them to go ahead and find a nail that they would like to put on. So already that these women most of the time they have 4 already, because they're going to get buy 3, get 1 4. It's really hilarious when I see people picking out what they want already, because all the chat are like, oh, these are cute, these are cute. So they have their nail set, and then from there on, I have them open up their sets. We're going to teach them, and we're going to work together, and I go around and show them how to put on their nails. This actually takes a good amount of time because people are so iffy on what they're supposed to do. I teach them some little tips and tricks, the things I do, like starting with the pinkies, working my way to my thumbs because my thumbs are my tools, and just working with each person and guiding them to put on their sets. And once they do that, some time has passed and they're ready to purchase. They're ready to pick out which ones they want. They're ready to look through that catalog. And I tell them that I can order most anything online unless it's obviously out of stock. Then it might be a little bit longer for them to get it. But most people are ready to buy the stuff and don't mind waiting if it's something that they really want. So that's pretty cool. So I'm trying to think here. So once we do that, once I help with that, this is where I said these order forms are still out. So they begin to fill them out with what they have already in terms of what they want. And we then go into, you can kind of see the parties is closing out. I kind of see when people are starting to move out. And by this time, crazy enough, it's usually been a couple hours, if not more. I try to keep my parties to 2 hours. They tend to always go towards about 3 hours. By the time people eat, have a few drinks, and then I get their full attention, it's a little bit different. So then as we close out the party, that's when I do the door prizes. And I'm pretty liberal with these tickets. I will be like, oh, that's a great question. Or, you know what? You've been so helpful this whole night. I'm going to give you another ticket. People just love them. It makes them feel a part of it, and they love it. So we do a raffle for the door prize, which is really exciting. And then we commence to checking out and kind of moving on to the next thing. As I'm talking to people and checking them out, I talk about like, oh, wow, you really love these nails. These are great. I remind them about the party, the hostess, about being able to host their own party. That I also could do fundraisers that it doesn't have to be at their house. It could be at an event at some other place, right? Again, I'm giving them ways to start thinking about how to do this, how they could be a hostess as well. And then I also say that, thank you, tonight because of your purchase, Susan's going to be earning some awesome nails. They love supporting their friend. And also if you host your own party, she also earns a hostess, they also earn a hostess booking credit too, along with you earning host rewards too. So it's just always kind of a win-win. But I'm constantly saying that information, as well as I have my little sign that says host a party yourself too. So the goal is to at least get one booking off of one party because I want to keep that going, right? I want those parties to be booking off one another because a lot of people have same circle of friends, but not everyone has the same neighbors. Not everyone has, goes to this club or that. So it's pretty surprising on how large a group of friends really is with all the other circles they run in too. So pretty cool. So, but what I do, so I know some of the questions that I've been asked a lot of the times is, what do I do with, how do I apply those hostess orders? So I'll create a link for my in-home party because she usually has a few friends who can't make it and would like to order through that. What I do is I automatically go in and I will put the money that was made. I use Square, right? That's how I check out with Square. I take that money and I go in and I place those orders for people. And I work out it a little bit differently. So some people want to go home with some of the strips that they have. I don't always charge them for shipping. If I'm doing a bulk order, it's coming to me. And then I can ship out one strip with one stamp, right? I got to play it by ear with that. If it's a buy three, get one free that they're going to be ordering and it's all going to be coming to them, then I will charge shipping for sure. But something is like one strip, maybe even two, I will not charge for that. So you have to play around with that and see how that's going to work for you. But I will place those orders underneath that hostess's party so that it is all adding up into that. And that way I'm earning my commission from that party. She's going to earn her hostess rewards. There's a few different ways to finagle that. but that's how I do it. So, and like I said, you can just have a little bit of inventory on hand. I definitely recommend doing that, especially in your first 3 months of business. When you sell those 10 strips out of that starter kit, that should go right back into your business, right? And you got to keep putting back. When you sell a strip, it goes back in your business, goes back in your business. You can take that commission, and that's going to be yours that you can keep and use. But that money from those strips that are sold should go right back in your business, so you do have some stock on hand to be able to have these in-home parties. So, okay, I'm going to unmute it now. So if you guys have any questions, I would love to hear from you all and on how you're doing. So if you guys need me to explain anything any further of how I do it. But I hope that this kind of helps you a little bit of how I'm doing them. I'm not doing them too crazy. So, I don't, some people like do cards and different games at the same time. I used to try to do a few different games in. It was way too much. But now I am, like I said, I'm keeping it super simple. I have one door prize, and I have people ask questions so that they can kind of be a part of it. And you never know where that's going to lead to your next person being a stylist as well, right? Okay, do you guys have any questions at all for me? Let's see here. Let's see if there's anything. Let's see. Anayi, did you have a question? I know sometimes, I think I unmuted you guys, so if you need to.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Sorry. I actually have two questions. First one is, would you recommend playing Mr. Park's video, like the history part? I actually did that in my last one, and some ladies were wowed that it was a gentleman that came up with this product.
Okay.
And then there was the other half that really didn't pay attention.
Okay.
So I was like, I wasn't sure if I did a right move or not.
Yeah, so I think that you're on a really great track in terms of wanting to share the business with that. I know that video, it's a little bit, it does a little bit long, right? That's a lot of information. So I would just shorten, kind of take bullet points of that, and I would have you share that. So essentially what, sorry, my voice has just come back now. Essentially, when I'm sharing, right, when everyone's soaking their nails and I'm encouraging them to that I'm going to be sharing that information, I am sharing his story. I'm just sharing a little bit of it, just a lot less of that, because he really goes into detail. They don't necessarily need that. They just kind of need like, exactly like what inspired him to start, how he kind of persevered through the years, how Color Street's actually been kind of 30 years in the making. And now he started Color Street, last June, and it's doing really well. And it's been, how it's affected you. That's where I go into my why too. So I think if it's coming from you personally and you sharing that, it's a little bit more intimate than just showing a video. When you head into like showing a video, it kind of makes it more salesy. And that's personally, you can kind of see how that is, but when it's coming from you, it's just a little bit different.
Okay. Yeah. And my second question is, would you still send that package, the hostess package, if it's a in-home party? Or would you just leave that for, like, let's say, online parties?
So this whole training is just on in-home parties, so not online at all. So this package, if they're close enough for me to drop it off, I will drop it off. If they're not, like I know that I'm going to be driving, 45 minutes to the destination, I will mail it to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. Any other questions? If not, so this is not set in concrete. Oh, did you have another question, Anai?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so not set in concrete. You can totally, make things up as you're going to see what works for you. So, your personality, how things go. But at least this is kind of something for you to follow along. And like I said, I think my last party that I did with this was at 600 in sales. Now she asked me to leave it open a little bit longer because she has more people interested in it. But that was great right there, right? That's one party down. If I did 2 of those a month, if I did 4 of those a month, that'd be awesome. That's going to put me into, over if 300 party, or sorry, that'd be $1,200. If you do a $300 party for one time a week, so 4 parties a month, you're at 1,200 right there. You're at 30% commission, which is awesome. It's really great. And so that's 3 hours of my time, as well as a little bit some other prep with that. So a really great way to get yourself boosted in your sales and just really get comfortable in front of people. So take what you're learning here and make it your own. Put your little personal flair on it. And I know you guys will do well. So I will connect, I'll load up just kind of the basics of what I talked about here. I'll see if I can kind of simplify it, but also about loading up into our files. But okay, and if you guys have any questions for me, you guys know how to reach out, and I'd be more than happy to help you all. Okay, thanks for attending.